Today I'm coming at you with a new type of video to my channel, and indeed, you guessed it, a new backdrop. It's a thing now. That aside, the new type of video I'm doing today is one about a trend that I really like. And you know, if you've been watching me for a little bit of time, you'll know that I basically do what is effectively grown-up show and tells. I just show you what I bought and tell you about it and how much I love it. But I also wanted to relate it to some of the trends that I'm seeing these days emerging. I mean, this one in particular is a big trend of 2020 that has seeped into 2021. Seeped. I wanted to use the context of the item that I bought to talk about something that's a bit wider around, you know, fashion trends. And you've probably seen from the title what the trend is, and that is, of course, the puffer jacket. And this video really is an ode to the puffer. We all probably own a puffer, whether it's a fashion puffer or a more practical puffer. And it's a trend that really, I'm just so glad that it's come back in style, because, you know, I feel like puffer jackets are one of those things that you kind of just wear because it's practical and it keeps you warm as opposed to looking fashion. But obviously a lot of trends get recycled over the decades, so it's always good to keep those things. Don't throw them out, because it seems like trends always come back, namely massive bags, tote bags suddenly come all the way back in. Small bags also do a bit of rotation now and then. You remember also things like the saddle bag comes back in, anything with logo mania, dad's shoes as well. Those are just some of the trends that I can name off the top of my head, but I'm sure you guys can think of many others. I actually don't really feel that on the whole I buy into trends. I usually try and buy classic or hopefully practical items that will last me a long time, because for me personally anyway, I mean, each to their own, but I don't really want to spend my money on stuff that will only be hot for a season. I'll look in for like a month or two and then it will change invariably to the next thing. It's a race I will never be able to win. It's something that I will never be able to keep up with in long term. So I'd much rather just buy stuff that I like, stuff I enjoy, stuff that will serve me long term and is practical ultimately. With that being said, I bought myself a very coveted type of puffer jacket, and it is a Fendi puffer jacket. Fendi has really done bits with their puffer jackets. Their collections in general have been so hot. Fendi and Prada really, I feel, not just withstanding like puffer in the puffer category, which, you know, if you've been keeping up to date, especially with Prada, they really jumped on the puffer trend. The puffer blazer is something I won't cover in this video, but that's definitely unique. It's definitely a look. And now you're seeing, fast forward a few months, Gucci with their collaborations with the North Face, for example. In fact, even the North Face as a standalone brand, they are so big at the moment. So I wanted to jump on here, make a video about the new puffer that I bought, talk a little bit about the trend, and also show you some of the puffers that I've gotten and accumulated over the years. There's not many. There's, in total, including this one, there's 4. Not that any of you asked, but to be honest, when did you ever ask for any of my videos, really? So anyways, let me take you through some details on this puffer jacket. This puffer jacket, like I mentioned, is from Fendi, and you're probably thinking, Mel, I haven't seen this type of puffer jacket. I've seen the reversible monogram puffer jacket. And you would be right in thinking that, because that is the most recent collections, I guess, that was really hot. It was very hyped and it went viral really. I think it came out maybe autumn of last year, or in fact maybe it was out earlier than that. Namely the black version. There was a cropped version that was black, and there was also a long version that was black as well. Then they did a few other color variations, like there's a grey one, I think Net-a-Porter did that one, and also like a cropped beige one. Now that I come to think of it, maybe it's been over a year, maybe it's been almost 2 years that Fendi has been churning out all these puffer items, and why wouldn't you? They're very popular, so keep making what works, right? Ever since then, a lot of brands, luxury, middle ground, and also lower end, have been jumping on that bandwagon and making their own and dupes, etc. But Fendi, I feel, is like the biggest brand that I think really originated the resurgence of the puffer. And actually, it's been a secret want of mine to have a luxury puffer jacket. I just didn't want to pay $2 grand or $2.5 grand for a basically like almost like a polyester puffer jacket. To me, that's not like the Acne Velocite jacket, which is pretty much all leather and it's sheepskin, you know, it's very high quality, it's very expensive materials. With a puffer jacket, we all know those puffer jackets that we got as kids, yeah? You know, they're very plasticky looking, maybe even bin bag lining type of vibes, and it's just not worth £2.5 okay? I did have a moment where I was weak, and especially when the Gucci North Face collaboration came out, I really wanted that, you know, that logo puffer, if you've seen it. For some reason I just loved it. It's so not me in the sense of I don't buy coats that are that gaudy. I know sometimes I have an element of gaud. Wait, is that a word? I'm not sure, I think I just made that up. I also, side note, don't want to get mugged. I wanted something a little bit more understated, and I felt like the reversible monogram Fendi coat was quite good because you could make it stand out or you could make it a bit more covert, you know, in the logo. Because let's face it, we are paying for the logo, but we don't want it all the way out there, you know? I missed out actually on the Net-a-Porter, I think it was the January sales, and they were like 30% off, so I was very upset that I missed out on a great deal for what was basically still a classic looking item. So I was even more adverse to paying full price for a puffer that had actually gone on sale at Net-a-Porter. Couldn't find any more sale items, decided to go on other websites just to maybe look for alternatives. And lo and behold, I went on a website called Ukes, which, as some of you may know, is the brand that actually, I think Ukes owns Net-a-Porter, The Outnet, websites like that. But they also have their own storefront, and that's really for outlet or off-season items that really don't shift, say, on the sites like Net-a-Porter. So I went and had a look on there. I have bought a couple of things here and there before in the past, and it's all been good and fine and dandy. And lo and behold, I found this jacket. I was actually really surprised to see this because I've never seen this jacket before, and there's good reason why I haven't seen this jacket before. It's because this jacket was actually part of the pre-fall, autumn-winter 2018 collection. I know. We're in 2021, so I bought an item from 2018. Clearly I do not follow trends that well, yeah? But it was on there, and I loved the look of it. And what I loved even more about this jacket was, of course, the price. If you've been watching for a while, you know your girl is a stickler for price. This jacket retailed, as with many of the Fendi puffers, for £2,100. I've since actually, because Ukes doesn't really publicise the previous prices, they just have them at the outlet price. I did a lot of researching beforehand on Net-a-Porter, Matches Fashion, which used to stock this jacket. But they were selling this particular jacket on Ukes for £1,250, if I'm not mistaken. And then on top of that, I managed to find a coupon code for 10%. And you can find these very easily by going to subscribe to Ukes' newsletters. They have a 10%. And I don't think Ukes ever stops those welcome coupons. So definitely look into that if you want to go shop there, or in fact any other luxury retailer. They will always probably have some sort of bonus on sign up. But then unfortunately for me, I forgot about Brexit, and I forgot Ukes is actually based in Italy. And as we all know, with Brexit, we have to pay duties and taxes now on things that enter into the UK from the EU. This then brought the price back up to like 1,260, so I ended up nullifying the 10% voucher, which I guess is okay given that, you know, it's better than not having gotten a coupon at all and paying, you know, £135 more or something like that. So it came pretty speedy. All of the taxes and things were obviously sorted out before it got shipped, so I didn't have to pay anything additional, which is good because I would have been really pissed. And I'm also glad that I bought a jacket which is deliberately oversized, because there is no way in hell that I was ever going to return it back to Italy if it didn't fit. But I got a size 36, which I believe is a UK size 6. But having tried it on, I can attest to the fact that this is, I don't know why they put a UK size 6, because this is definitely not a size 6. Like this is massive. So this is the jacket. Maybe you can get a little sense of the action that's happening here, but let me just quickly take you for a little tour. So anyway, in terms of the details, the breakdown. So this is a velvet jacket with heart motifs, as you can see. The velvet detailing is obviously, it's made of velvet throughout, right? But the hearts are actually not velvet. They are, I guess, like almost like shaved off, like someone went with a little razor and shaved the velvet off. We've got little bows on the side, which I think adds a nice little girly touch, so it gives it kind of like a bell sleeve vibe. But what I will say is the sleeves are a little bit, I guess, shorter than normal. So the good thing is that I can read my watch pretty easily, but obviously kind of, they're a bit bell sleeve like, so they kind of let in stuff at the end. But this, I think, has a little bit of shape. you know, not a lot of shape, but a little bit more. And I guess that helps with the bell sleeves. And also actually this massive collar here is one of the details that really drew me to this particular coat. Let me just fasten the poppers so it's no zips or anything, which is quite good because if you were wearing gloves and things, it's quite easy just to do poppers and to also get yourself out of them. But what I really love is obviously you've got this, you can wear the jacket with the wide collar or lapel, and then what you can also do is button it all the way up. So you can button it one up here, you can then button it up, and you've got kind of what I can only describe the neck pillows that you get on an airplane. You get one of these. So, you know, bonuses if you're on a plane in the near future, hopefully, fingers crossed, and you don't have one of those pillows, you've got one built into your coat. So that's quite nice, and it's also incredibly warm. I'm feeling hot just being in this neck brace. But then, you know, I could take it one step further. I can pop this up and well, you've got this, which, you know, I guess you wouldn't necessarily need a face mask going into a store if we want to be totally politically and socially relevant and conscious at the moment. But you could go one step further with this. I can't believe I'm doing this. But you could do this. In fact, I'm still looking at the camera. I could literally, oh my God, just as an experiment. Wow. So you could do this, totally social distance, and then, you know, if you want to speak, you can just pop that open. So, or, you know, you can wear it. Oh, this is a vibe. You could wear the jacket like this. I kind of like it. It's giving me like Dracula vibes. But yeah, this is also an option, but not that I'll be taking it that much. But anyway, let me just put it back to normal and have it opened out a bit. So yeah, that's a bit of fun there for you. So there's some options with this jacket, as you can see. Any other details that I'm missing? It's got two big pockets in here. These are all kind of like velvet lined as well. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned this jacket is goose down feather filled. So it's incredibly soft and it has a bit of bounce. So even when you squish it, if someone comes to give you a nice big hug, it will obviously squish in almost like a memory foam pillow. Then it almost expands all the way out again, so you get that big puff. Let me open this out a little bit because it is getting very, very warm. If you get a really good puffer that is deliberately oversized like this one, I actually think if the rest of your body is super cinched in, you know, let's say you've got long boots that are fitted like the Stuart Weitzmans that I have, I cannot wait to go out and wear this all as one ensemble because I think having a super fitted bottom and even fitted inside top would look so nice with a warm winter coat like this. I think it would look really cute with things like roll neck tops, obviously high-waisted jeans, nice long boots. I think is such a vibe. I think it's quite nice that I got a Fendi jacket that's less hyped, but equally still part of that wider, I guess you could say, trend. And I'm glad that it came in time that I've been able to enjoy this jacket a little bit as well and go out for my winter walks in them. Anyways, I've chatted enough about this particular jacket. I think we've gotten the gist of why I love puffers so much. And so I will now go ahead and show you the puffers that started it all. And let's go back into memory lane and dig them out. And I will take off this puffer. And I will just try on actually just for fun the other puffers because some of these puffers I actually haven't brought out for like a good year or 2 years. So we'll see if they still fit and if they just look ridiculous or not. Because like I mentioned, puffer jackets are very nostalgic, I think, for a lot of people. And they definitely, back in the day, may I just add, they were not stylish. They were not fashion, okay? They got you from A to B in the wet weather, windy weather, cold weather. So that's why puffers existed. And of course, I haven't got the ones from my childhood to show you, but I've just got the ones that I bought in, I guess, the recent past. So let me show you the first puffer that I got chronologically. And actually, this one is a little bit rogue. You'll see how my fashion clearly evolved over the years because this one is quite colourful. And it is this Lazy Oaf, what I can only describe as like a marshmallow, candy floss, puffer jacket. Or just a flump. Actually, yeah, a flump. Lazy Oaf is kind of like an alternate hip kind of brand. They do a lot of cartoonish styles and a bit satirical as well. And I just love their style. And yeah, this is clearly a look that I thought I could pull off. So, you know, let me go and try it on just for the lols, I guess. I managed to get this at a sample sale, so it's a lot cheaper than retail. I think retail these go for like £100–150, and now, probably because they're so rare and they don't make them like this and in this quality and this style anymore, they probably go for hundreds more. You know what I was saying earlier about how when it's puffer jackets are so oversized, they actually look good. I do think this actually makes me look big boned, shall we say, because it's not the most flattering, I guess. It does make me look like the Michelin Man. The way that the sleeve is cuffed, it's not super long, but it's also not short, and it's also, yeah, it just kind of makes me look a bit rotund, doesn't it? But it's a cute moment, and it is cuffed actually just where my belly button is, so it's not the most flattering cut, but then again, for the price point, for the style, I genuinely think this is, I've worn this for, you know, errands to go to like the post office or do some admin. It's really not a coat that I like style up super fashion, you know, but does the job, doesn't it? And I do think it is waterproof, and it's so soft, might I add. I've literally never felt a puffer jacket this soft. It literally feels like a flump. I feel like a marshmallow, and I'm here for it, to be quite honest with you. And it's also practical. It's got a hood, actually. It's got the Velcro here, and oh my goodness, it pains me to open it. It's got the tiniest of hoods. And a nice flattering purple, actually. So now I'll pop that in, but I do think it's quite practical. And you know, like I said, it's not like I'm going to a fashion show with this, right? It's a ray of sunshine, isn't it? Even if it does make me look a bit rotund. But the next one I have to show you actually is, and it's actually a reason why I'm going to keep the other one, is essentially a dupe or a fake, whatever you want to call it, of a Lazio puffer jacket that I couldn't get my hands on. And it's this cute cloud print puffer jacket. This is probably the most coveted style of Lazio jacket out there, and it's one that I really couldn't get my hands on for the authentic one, so I got this one, which is by some sort of, I guess, Chinese company or something. I think I bought it on eBay. I really wanted this jacket, might I add. And I can only imagine how soft it is in the original Lazio material. My goodness, just feeling the other one, if it's made in cloud print, oh my god, it would be amazing. Let me just try it on. Pink lining, which I think is super cute. It contrasts very nicely. It's a pop of colour here. And I just love the pastel look. And this one I do think is a little bit more flattering. I can't tell if it's because of the dupe material being a bit looser or a bit fatter. But I do think it's a bit longer on the sleeves, so less Michelin Man vibes. And it's a little bit longer as well, so a little bit more practical. It's also got a hood as well. I won't pop it out because it's the same kind of style as the other one. But yeah, I think it's very practical. Again, waterproof and a little bit more flattering than the other puffer jacket. But I think a bit more wearable with the colour scheme. You know, wearing it with jeans and things, it looks a little bit less bold. So then let me move on to my final puffer jacket. And it is I guess the more recent puffer jacket to add to my collection. Not that I'm intending on creating a vast puffer jacket collection, but you know. And this one I bought actually, I think last year, in fact, or maybe, yeah, actually last year. And it was a jacket that I thought, you know what, I probably should actually have a practical looking puffer jacket that is more wearable to the workplace. So this is a Patagonia jacket. It's my first foray into Patagonia clothing actually. It's very slimline in terms of as far as puff jackets go, and it's a waterproof of course, and it's got a detachable hood and everything, so that's very new. And it is honestly the most worn puffer jacket, of course. And to be honest, if you ever see me out in wet weather, you'll likely see me in this, because this is one of those jackets where I just don't mind it getting a bit ruined, and you wouldn't even be able to see any scuffs or anything because it's black. It's slim, as you can probably tell even from like the sleeves and everything. It actually looks flattering as a puffer jacket, which I didn't think was something that could be possible, but here you go. And like I mentioned, it's got a hood. I only recently realised that it's actually detachable. It's got a zip, or is it buttons? Or both? No, it's got poppers. Poppers that you could detach the whole thing, so it kind of looks very cool when you've got it just just like this with a collar up. It is fantastic quality. I love Patagonia. I've got a few Patagonia items now, which I absolutely love. And to be honest, I think this is an essential that everybody should have in their wardrobe. Not necessarily Patagonia, but just a plain puffer. That is a bit fitted actually, because I usually wear this like most people do with their puffer jackets when I'm feeling a little bit like a slob or want to put minimal effort into my outfit, but also want to be warm. And it was relatively inexpensive. I think this was like £130, no more than 150 when I bought it. So highly economical in that way. I thought this would satiate my need to get a designer puffer, and it did for a good year and a half. But alas, I thought, you know what? You wear this puffer all the time. I think you made a business case to go and get yourself a little something nice. So that's why I decided to reinvigorate my search for the designer puffer jackets. So anyways, that was my collection of puffer jackets. I mean, it's by no means a vast collection, right? But I wanted to show you guys because I love this trend so much. I'm so happy it's back because that means I can pull all these things back out from the dust. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the puffer jacket trend. Have you bought into it? If you haven't, will you be buying into it? And what's another trend that you see on the horizon / you would like me to cover? And I will catch you in my next one.